What's going on, boys? Today we're talking a bit about your word and standing by it. Or maybe just standing up for yourself and the consequences of possessing self worth. I more than doubled my salary yesterday. No more hustle grinding, no more bullshitting for chump change and nonsense. But it happened in exactly not the way I wanted it to. And it happened because another fucking ENTJ woman tried to get over on me, thinking I was just going to sit there and take it. I got flashbacks to my nightmare ex. You know, the only one I had ever seriously considered marrying, but who tried to pull some shit on me and expected me to be fine with it. You draw a line in the sand and say, please don't step over this. Don't even look at this as a metaphor. Look at this as literally just drawing a line in the sand. Please don't step over this line. It's very simple. And then they step over it and feel surprised when something bad happens. Okay, vague but specific context. Previously, got tricked into a part-time job earning less than I would stocking shelves, thinking it was going to be a full-time career job. Megacunt, one of my coworkers, but not my boss, lived up to her name regularly enough to be irritating. So I was planning on leaving anyway, but I got approached by another nonprofit who had seen my work and recommended I apply. Not to be a janitor, not to be a cashier, not to be an advertiser, but to run shit. So it was an absolute no-brainer. I still think, opportunity at this new place is limited compared to the place I'm leaving, but again, at the time I applied, Megacunt was still there and was frustrating me greatly. I like reciprocity. I like the second rule of cool. I show you care and respect, you show me care and respect. I'm cool to you, you're cool to me. But then, almost out of nowhere, in hindsight, there were signs, like my third day working there, saying she feels like she's wasting her time here, is extremely close friends with someone our boss fucked over, bad mouthing our boss semi regularly, but I wasn't expecting her actually to leave. And her leaving frees up a chunk of money, more than what I will be earning when you factor in benefits. And I've been working my ass off to make good impressions, to make people happy, to make us look a little less stupid, not like a third grader or a business undergrad is writing all of our copy. You know, making sure the is spelled correctly and we aren't utilizing the conceptual paradigm. And it starts feeling like we are building momentum towards something, even with Megacunt leaving. And as a result of Megacunt's leaving, my boss starts talking me up, saying she needs a second in command, says she sees infinite potential in the next 10 years. All these things that lead me to believe I am, at this time, as indispensable as I can be. And stupid me, I start believing what she's saying. But then, that other job I applied to comes back with an offer that is a few notches above what I was expecting them to offer. As in, this isn't insane money, but this is far and away the most money I would ever make. And it's so much, I can't ignore it. I can't pass it up. I would be fucking stupid to pass it up. And I already passed up two jobs that were thrown at me, thrown in my face, that were for more than I am currently making. And that's a lot of stress, but with Megacunt leaving, they have enough money to back up their pretty words with actions if they mean them. And I didn't want to leave for a few reasons. One, I enjoyed the work, despite the shit pay. I still see that infinite potential at that organization my boss was talking about. And I liked working with my boss. And I cared enough, I was concerned for her reputation if I were to leave also. Infamous track record of fucking things up on the interpersonal level. Extremely competent despite the disorganization, but so socially off-putting to... I don't know what percentage it would be, a large percentage will say, of people coming up to me regularly saying, "Do you know this person? What's her deal? Something seems wrong there." So, stupid me. I buy the words again, and I try to trust. In part because of a conversation I had with a high-end ESFP in real life. I have met them and spoken with them online, knew they existed, hadn't met one IRL. Now I have. Pretty stoked about it. Super cool dude. Anyway, we had a long conversation about trust. We cried and hugged. So I tried to trust. Stupid fucking me. And I asked those people who offered me the job to please wait a few days. I want to speak with my family and let my current job compete because I want to do the right thing and I like where I am. Which are all things you don't say, you don't do when someone offers you a job, but stupid me wanted to trust, wanted to buy the words. So I told my boss I have a job offer, but I would like to stay. Please don't make me feel stupid for trusting you. Please don't make me feel like a chump. My boss repeatedly said, "We can't lose you, we like working with you, we want you to stay, don't worry about it, we are not gonna lose you." And context, Dummy released all of their salaries. The numbers were buried in a document sent out to a number of people. I thought it was weird they were there. They didn't look, or they looked like they were not supposed to be there. And then upon further investigation, feeling around, they were not supposed to be there. But I knew now Megacunt's salary, and I knew what they had to offer. I knew what they were paying someone who was not doing their job, not doing it well, causing problems. So I thought, no brainer, at least offer me that money because it's there. Already have a good track record, planning on doing a whole lot more. Not having a good work-life balance. At least that much. That seemed so obvious to me, it was like it was already real. And then, maybe, if they wanted to back up their words and really invest in someone and make them happy to be there, a little bit more. But then, what happens? We wait until past the date we discussed to get me an offer. And then when the offer comes in, it is a few notches below the no-brainer option. So I asked you to do one thing. I asked you, please don't make me feel stupid for trusting you. So I said that was no. No. Where is that other money going? That's an option to talk to me about it, to be a human being, to demonstrate any degree of trust, to grow a pair and talk to me about why you are fucking me like this. But that didn't happen either. We didn't even have a conversation about it, because she didn't know she released their salaries. You waited until past the last minute, not even to get me a contract, but just to say you're going to lowball me in the most insulting way possible. And then not talk to me about it, not talk to me about why. After I told you I had a job offer, I told you how much they were offering, I gave you time to compete because I wanted to work here and I bought your bullshit. And I felt bad because I didn't want to be another stain on your stupid record you built yourself. And at least Megacunt's number was such a no-brainer based on the positive things you guys were saying you wanted to accomplish and the fact my leaving will fuck up a lot of things for you. Not might, will. On the positive side, you have every reason in the world at least to do the obvious right thing. On the negative side, you have every reason not to fuck up by doing the obvious right thing. And you still do the one thing I ask you not to do. You make me feel fucking stupid for trusting your loser ass. So, when she realizes I'm not fucking around, she promises to get something more serious by tomorrow. But before she can, the other job calls me and tells me I need to make a decision now because they're sick of waiting. So I go with them. And then my boss comes back with, the obvious thing. Mega cunt salary. I say I made a decision. So then she does the thing that I was kind of hoping she might do. Maybe not. Doing the obvious thing would have been enough, but in good faith, doing a little more would have been appreciated. Matches their number plus benefits. Still turn it down. Fuck you, you treated me like I was stupid. Rotten hell. And based on what I'm saying, you might think this is not a money thing at this point. Well, you can frame it that way to make yourself look principled. I could say that to make myself look principled. It's not. It is absolutely still a money thing. This whole fiasco has demonstrated I can't trust these dipshits with my financial future. If they can't make a good faith decision, investment, the first time, when they have everything to gain and everything to lose, what are they going to do when I don't have this leverage? They're going to treat me like even more of a dumb chump. And even if I went back on my word and accepted one of their offers, now I'm dealing with people who view me as a problem. And I am not going to work with people who hold animosity toward me, especially after just sacrificing my only leverage. Are you stupid? But that is a far out hypothetical because I try not to go back on my word unless I absolutely have to. These people didn't short sell me. They offered me more than they should have. And they gave me time to let my current job compete willingly. And I don't know why they did that. My contact laughed when I explained what was going on, like she knew this was going to happen, but I don't know. I don't know how you fumble that. I wanted to work there. I had one condition. Please don't make me feel stupid. Please don't make me feel stupid for trusting you. And all you had to do was do the obvious thing, the no brainer thing. But what do? You run out the clock, you drop the ball, and then you cry about it. You cry about your actions having consequences. And my boss did cry. Once on the phone, and once in front of me. And I'm still in the middle of trying to analyze what all these signals mean, but I'm the kind of person who feels other people's feelings. I wonder what that could be. Maybe there's a system that describes what that sensation is. And then I externally manifest those same feelings when I feel them, particularly when they are intense. For example, that ESFP guy I mentioned, during our conversation about trust, he was encouraging me to he was encouraging me not to trust humanity, but to trust humans. I have no faith in humankind, but I have faith in every individual I see. His words. It was actually a pretty interesting example he used, and an example that holds true, and I like when people use examples like this. He said, if I got a cut on my hand and I cried out and begged everyone generally in the area for help, nobody would help me. But if I got that same cut on my hand and I went up directly to one person and asked them for help, man, I'm hurting, please help me, they would absolutely help me. And he's right. Not always, but generally. Appeal to a group, nobody gives a shit. Appeal to an individual, more often than not, you'll get help. Anyway, I asked him if anyone had ever hurt him so badly he felt unable to trust anyone anymore. And the dude goes from bombastic, loud, quick speaking, open body language to silence, closed off body language, not looking me in the eye for a few moments. And his eyes don't even water at that point. He doesn't say anything. He goes, yeah, I have. But, and then he goes into his explanation of how trust changes and develops through these sorts of situations. But I teared up during his moment of silence because his sorrow was so palpable I couldn't not. And he wasn't even crying. His sad energy came on so suddenly and so intensely, I couldn't help but tear up. That's how FE works. And I bring that moment up to contrast it with my boss's moment, crying in front of me. I don't feel a drop of sympathy or sadness. All I feel is disappointment, both, well, all three for her, the situation, and in myself, building into aggravation as the waterworks display goes on. And I say I am still trying to figure out what these signals mean in my analyzing everything that's gone on, because I think she meant the tears. I think they were genuine tears, but I don't know what it means that I felt less than nothing at that moment. Again, contrasted with crying for a dude pulling the stoicism act pretty well, when I have a great disdain for stoicism and stoics. And on that same note, feeling unaffected by the tears, but feeling generally sick about this whole situation. I wanted them to make me feel like I could trust them because I saw so much and I wanted to believe when they said so much, and then for it not to work and have my plans nuked again in a similar way by a similar sort of ENTJ, it is... my brain is an angry slushy. And then for auxiliary dickheads to ask me if it's because I'm leaving because I don't want to do the work and browbeating me, it's infuriating. I'm trying to leave on good terms because I don't, or I didn't, hate these people. I like them. I want to see them succeed. And I still believe in this organization's potential. Maybe in 5 years, when everything explodes, goes swimmingly, because, of course it will, because I'm leaving, come back when things are different. When these people don't want to fuck around, or when the people who are fucking around have moved on to greener pastures. But at this point, I don't think it's worth it. I was planning on using my spare time to help them out. I'm beginning to think I shouldn't. I was thinking about coming back in a few years. I'm beginning to think I shouldn't. I'm beginning to think I should devote all my time and more to making the place I'm going win. Which won't happen because I want it to happen, but at the new place professionally, I have a number of competent people behind me who want me there, and on the personal level, I have made a number of good key contacts. And the same way, if I were to try to tell people what really happened to save my name, it would make me look bad. If they try to drag my name through the mud, lying like rats, it'll make them look bad and me look even better because I have meticulously built up my reputation. And the reason I am meticulous about my reputation is it allows me to do stuff like this. I get to make people who bullshitted me look bad by doing nothing but letting them do their own thing. And I know I'm rambling. I am spazzing out a bit. And it's because I feel disappointed and hurt and a bit angry. You fuck up something so easy, prove yourself dishonest on multiple levels, and then, because there needs to be a bad guy, it gets put on me. You are a bunch of rats. Shitty, incompetent, loser, liar rats. You're crying because you didn't get to take advantage of me. And as I said, I'm still trying to decipher all this. Some kind of mystical shit happened. I thought Megacunt leaving was the mystical signal, wow, everything's falling into place. This is where I need to be. Only to get my face spit in, and not even in a fun way. And then the wise women I associate with, of course, foresaw all this. What does that mean? What am I... The one of the reasons I really appreciate when people don't make me feel stupid is because I often feel stupid. Because if they were able to foresee all this, how? What are you seeing? Why can't I see it? Why am I too stupid to see it? I feel stupid. And then I had a weird, vivid, this is important nightmare, which, because we are already wasting too much time, I'll go ahead and read out. It was dark outside and the building was home. A man called me at the organization asking about 211. Boss stood nearby and watched. When I answered the phone, my voice was sluggish and imprecise, and I could barely make out the man's voice. When I offered to take his name and number, he said, "What? No, she needs an answer now." He spoke like I was supposed to know what he meant, despite the heavy static. He hung up on me before I could clarify. I saw someone walking toward the front door through the window, got scared, and woke up. Now, I'm not a dream interpreter, but 211 got emphasized multiple times. And 211 is either an angel that generically says to trust yourself, or it's armed robbery. I don't know. And the dream doesn't seem that scary, but for some reason, when I saw the person pass the window and come for the door just walking in the dark, it scared the shit out of me and I jumped awake. So, in summary, I am now officially making pretty good money. I get a month and a half off per year, which is insane. I am surrounded by good people, and there is opportunity here, and God willing, I will make that opportunity reality, but I am still disappointed, hurt, and confused. This last 2 weeks to a month has been sickeningly stressful. But that about ribbity wraps this one up. I hope you enjoyed watching, because I certainly enjoyed making it. I realize there's no point in this video, so one for here. Despite what charismatic, emotional men tell you late in the evening, don't trust anybody. People are rats. Even when something is obvious, they will still try to fuck you. Don't trust anybody. Like if you enjoyed, because it helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, because we do this shit sometimes. And comment your thoughts, because I love hearing from you. Not really sure what to ask on this one. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Really, we had a lot of fun on this channel. So much fun. In fact, you can jump into it and freeze to death from how much fun you're having. And that's so much for me on this channel, and I look forward to doing this with you guys again in the future.